All right, good morning, kids. Today, welcome to whatever. It's Monday. Go Packers. Welcome to another exciting episode of the original Red Pill Show. Today is Monday, January 13th, 2020. This show is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please use it at your own risk. This show is on early. Wake the fuck up. Where is it? Where are you, Mr. Outdated iPad? Wake up. This show is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please use it at your own risk. Finally, show's opinionated. That's why I do it. The host especially, callers 815-290-0912 for now. Guests, people that are interviewed, and people that are naughty in the chat room will be cast into the pits of hell forever, and will always be opinionated. Under no circumstances whatsoever should opinions ever, never be taken as advice if you are seeking professional advice. Strongly encourage you to hire a licensed every required person in his or her field there, little Tommy. Hey, man. No. That's his name. Broadcasting live from the wonderful state that's getting all fucked up, Colorado. To mention the entire country, but we won't get into. We're not going to start. We're not going to go there. Already in the morning on Monday, really? Getting woke up and getting punched in the face. No, we don't want that. So we just want to wake up, enjoy the morning, smoke a big old joint like this one, and just have a good old time and just relax, man. It's like, really. I saw there was allegedly 3 deaths in Illinois from pot. Really? That'll be a first. I don't know, but we're going to get into that stuff because Melissa's going to call in and we're going to continue. I think we're going to make this a subject of the month by the time we get done with it. About marijuana. I inhaled some of that sage. If I start getting weirder, whatever, or more weirder than usual, it's because I'm smoking my sage, man. It's really good stuff. I like it. I got it from the dispensary. It keeps all the witches away. So far, so good. Anyway, so how was your weekend? Mine was nice, I have to say, regardless of the NFL and all the shenanigans and crap they were pulling. What's some great football that was on. I really haven't been watching football all season, but I did watch the playoffs, every game, and little recognition to me because I predicted that the Titans would beat the who's the other fuckers? The Ravens. People laughed at me. People scoffed. Ha 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 ha. Who is victorious? Me. I was right. Wasn't even close. Listen, man, you don't beat the New England Patriots because you're lucky. And I'm like, well, hell, if the Titans can beat the Patriots, they can beat anybody. They might even win the Super Bowl, which I don't think is going to happen. I think it's going to be the Packers and the Chiefs, but we'll see. But anyway, great football. I sat here yesterday and watched 2 games in a row. I don't think I've ever even done that. So, very entertaining, regardless of what you think of the NFL or whatever. It's entertainment, and I turned off all my TV programming, and I only can watch the games because I use a program called Locast, Locast, and I donated $5 a month, and I get all my local channels without a antenna. It's through the internet. It's an app. So, it's pretty cool, actually. I've been waiting to find that. And I found it, and it works pretty damn good. So between that and other things like Disney Plus, Netflix, whatever, I can watch pretty much Prime Video. I can watch off Amazon. I can pretty much get my fill on TV, although I want to watch less and less of it. And I stick with my news with OAN, which is an app that I pay $5.99 subscription fee, and that's all I need. So that's it. Don't worry, I'll tell you what to think. Don't want to you to be misled on things, and they're always open for discussion, aren't they? Right, Melissa? Are you ready? Are you woke up? You have your makeup on, your coffee, and all that other crap? You want to call in and talk or what? Or you just want me to fly solo? What's up, man? I don't really care. I got this big old fucking joint here. I can have a good old time. What's up? I opened it, so it should work. Voice should work. Who knows? There you are. Wow. It hung up on you. I did not do that. Let me close it and open it again. I just love when computers don't work. Da 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 da. La 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 la. Let's try it again, and let's go to Google Voice. Let's open it again. Okay, try it again. Let's see what's happening. Just once. Just one time. I think there's been one show where shit's worked. Boom. Let's try it again, Melissa. Put a quarter in the phone and fucking call. Ready? One. Is that working? Maybe that's why. It should all be configured, right? Oh, boy, that's horrible. Oh, see? When in doubt, reboot or close and open. No disassemble. Hello?
There we are.
It's working. It's being temperamental.
Working about as well as my coffee worked this morning.
Your what?
Said it's working about as well as my coffee pot worked this morning.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, it was kind of my fault. I forgot to put coffee grounds in.
Oh, well, that would. We'll have to have a show just on how to make coffee, apparently, for some people who will remain nameless.
Yeah, I was struggling this morning.
That's okay. I laid off the coffee to get my blood pressure down, so I'm drinking tea now for now, but we'll see.
I drink tea in the afternoon.
Yes, a spot of tea.
I have my afternoon tea.
Yes. And we can be like Prince Henry and Meghan and move to Canada and tell everybody to piss off. How's that sound? You want to move to Canada?
That sounds about like me.
They could be your neighbor.
Can't say I've ever had royalty for neighbors.
Well, if you really get into it, technically they're not royalty, but we don't want to go there. So they're actually from Germany.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm great. It's Monday. I had a very good weekend. I rolled me a big old joint that I'm smoking. Now we're going to talk about pot again. Whatever. See it? Is it coming up?
And by the way, inhaling sage is not going to hurt you.
I don't want to find out. I felt it, though, a little bit. It's just natural from being well, I wouldn't really call myself a smoker, but it's really weird when people start smoking. It's impossible to get them to inhale. And then when you shove something in your mouth and you quit smoking or whatever, you just inhale no matter what, including a big old fucking joint made of sage. So, whatever. We'll see what the after effects are.
Doubtful if you'll have any.
I might. Maybe all the demons and gremlins will come out of my body. No. See? It's working. No, but let's don't talk about me. Let's talk about you. How was your weekend?
It was a weekend, I guess.
That's
I don't
it?
know what weekends are anymore.
Just sitting on the mountain getting snow? Has it been snowing or no?
Yeah. You know, we've had like a couple of days over 30 degrees in the last 2 weeks.
That's not good. So it's been cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here on the Front Range in northern Colorado, it's been, I don't know, in the I actually went out on my bike one day. Couldn't help myself. And
I know, I was rather jealous.
Yeah, 45. Yeah. I'll come pick you up sometime, take you for a ride. It'll be fun. It'd be a nice ride, actually, because what'd you say it is, 3 or 4 hours from Denver?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go tour your
I
town.
bet that would be a beautiful ride through the mountains.
Oh, my God. It's like, yeah, when I first moved here, reminiscing a little bit, you know, I've only been to Colorado once before that. And I came out here on business, and they took me to Estes Park, and I saw all the elk roaming around like they were just like, you know, dogs or whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck is this place? You know, and it was beautiful in the whole 9 yards. And the thing that got me was the mountains, and I warned people to come out here. When my mom came out here with my dad in May, I couldn't get her out of Estes Park. Couldn't get her out of there. She goes, she couldn't comprehend that there was a town on top of a mountain.
Wow.
She's like, how did they get this up here? I'm like, really, man? I mean, we just drove up the mountain, so that might be a clue.
Yeah.
But since they've done, I mean, they've done 34, I guess, going up over Thompson River or whatever and all that, and it's just a beautiful ride going from Loveland up to 34 and to the top of the mountain in Estes Park. It's just, if that doesn't get you, then you're not interested in living here. Plus, I
moved here without all that. So.
No, not me. I mean that. But the reason why I said that is the first time I went up there on a service call for work, I had to go to the YMCA up there, which is in a valley, and it's beautiful. It's right next to the National Rocky Mountain National Park or whatever, which I've never been to. But the YMCA is just nestled in there in a valley with mountain ranges all around it. It's just crazy. It's like, oh my God.
Cool.
So when I finally decided when I moved here if I was going to stay here, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to go back and get my motorcycle back in Illinois, fly back over the 4th of July, going on 2 years ago, and drive that thing back here. Because all I kept thinking was I would love to come up here on my bike, and this would be a beautiful ride. So,
yeah.
Then I really want to go from Estes Park to Blackhawk, because that ride is nothing short of amazing either. And then maybe from Blackhawk, I'll just keep going south and west, and then I'll come by you. I don't know. It's a good start.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No, I want to do that, but that's why I got me a bigger bike now. And this thing will just, I mean, I could pretty much not have any worries per se, unless other assholes that don't know how to drive. But I don't have to worry about the bike at all, because it's just going to be phenomenal. So I can't wait. I can't wait. So.
It's been many years since I've gotten on a bike.
Really? Well,
yeah.
Well, this one I'm going to wear all my protective gear and helmet and all that. I mean, I've worn a helmet since I was 7 playing football. It don't bother me, and I'm not claustrophobic. But when I did have my Yamaha, which was a cruiser, which everybody thought was a Harley, I just went around town with it. I never really wore my helmet, but I can't just picture myself getting on this thing, taking a long trip without my helmet on. I don't think it's a good decision.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, it definitely. I've always worn a helmet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to, and I'm wearing my leathers and all the whole 9 yards and gloves, and I'm just going to be safe. And God forbid something happens, at least I won't get scraped up by the road because I just met a kid, not met a kid, but he shared a story about that where he the bike kicked out on him on the ass end, and he fell, and he had a backpack on full of books, thank God, but it wore the books in the backpack all the way down to nothing, and he didn't get unscathed. Wow. He had his helmet on, thank God, which was all fucked up, and then he just totally had road rash on his forearm and had to get surgery or something to get all. He says, I have a scar for the rest of my life. He said, it's a good idea you wear all that crap. I said, yeah, I get it, and that's what I'm going to do. So.
Yeah, I've known way too many bikers and seen way too many repercussions of accidents.
Yep. Yeah, me too. And I've been on them since I was 13, and I and it's all been motocross and off road. And I just number one, they won't let you get on a track without the right gear, and number two, I just can't. It's like playing football without a helmet. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. So, but no, nothing exciting.
No, I'm just working. I work all the time.
Yeah, well, I've been
working in a general store.
I saw some nice comments and things like, this is way better than YouTube. I guess that was from Rancho in the chat room here.
Well, that's because it is.
Well, yeah, but it's nice. It's nice. Self-perception can be delusional, but it's nice to see other people are saying that. So it looks like you hit a home run on this stuff. So.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, he's going off YouTube today.
You get a raise.
Today was his last show on YouTube.
You're gonna go from not making nothing to making nothing. How's that?
Sounds good.
Congratulations.
Woo!
You'll now be able to contribute to the retirement plan at work. Yeah, no, it is kind of cool. So is this chat room box thing, is this like always open and everlasting or whatever you want to call it, and this is for everybody to use and share? Is that what that is?
Yeah. Yeah, this one is. This is the one we'll use until our custom one is finished being made.
Oh, okay, so this is a temporary one. Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, the one that we're having custom made will actually be individual to each one. So.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, I like it. So, I mean, I like the Spreaker interface in there, and I like the YouTube thing, and the previous episodes. Where's buy my shit? Well, buy my t-shirt. Where's that? That ain't on there.
That would be under swag. I still need to dress up the pages some.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just constructive criticism, but I know you just go to shop, right? And then go to t-shirts and
yeah.
I can get a coffee mug, really?
Yeah, I need to I don't think I have yours up there yet, but I will get one up there.
Slacker, quit sitting around watching the snow.
Oh, I know.
That's all you do. Free ADHD with EV. Free. I'm just looking at some of these cups. EMA cup. Free to be ADHD. That's me. I did get diagnosed with well, I don't think they had it back then, but ADD. Because my teacher wanted to put me on Ritalin, and my mom pretty much told him to fuck off. So.
Yeah, they tried to do that with my son.
Yeah. It's like, hey, how about teaching deficit disorder, dumbasses? You know what they did?
Right.
You know what they did for me? I got my work done so fast. And I wasn't hyper or anything because back then that's what it was. And then if you were extremely hyper, you get thrown into the special ed class. I don't know how it is now. It sounds like they just shove you on drugs and tell you to shut up. But what my teacher did was she gave me extra work to do because as soon as I got done, which I was the first one in the class to get my work done, I go around acting like a clown and bothering people. Or I just sit at my desk and bother people. Make comments or whatever I would do.
Yeah, that was me too.
Yeah. So my teacher just gave me more work. She goes, Tim, here's more work for you. It's extra credit. That's all she did. That was it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember getting lots of extra credit work just to get me to sit still and be quiet.
Right.
I was a talker. I would talk to everybody and anybody who was sitting next to me.
Really?
They even tried putting my desk into corners away from people, and that still didn't work.
Huh. Well, you should have your own show then, if you talk that much.
I have to have somebody to talk to, though.
You do?
Yeah. I attempted to do a show by myself a couple of times, and it failed horribly.
Really?
I went through an hour's worth of material in about 15 minutes.
Well, yeah. You know what, though? That's perfectly normal. Trust me. I mean, if I had... Actually, I think if you went back onto... What's that horrible... Blog Talk Radio. And I think there's some shows under Freedomizer Radio and under the original Red Pill Show, because I did it on my own, too, there. And I were like, oh, my God. Really? It's an evolution. It's like just like your webmaster thing. You didn't the first day do then what you do now. It's the same thing.
Oh yeah.
It's just such a pain in the ass.
I have more interest in building the back end of it than being on the front end.
Yeah, but if you like talking, you should do it. It just takes. You just got to get through all that stuff, and then you gotta work on the equipment, then you got to work on your voice, and then nobody, including me, likes listening to their own voice. I don't think, just like watching yourself on video or what, nobody really likes that. So I think that's, unless you're a narcissist and you're really like, oh, look at me, I listen to my voice. Yeah, ain't I the shit. You got people like that. They're full of themselves. But quite honestly, I really don't want to watch myself on the stupid camera or listening to myself. But once you get past that, then it's just like, you know what, whatever. I just really don't care. People will listen or people won't. But
yeah, my old partner had to trick me into going live. So.
Oh, really? Trick you? Is that your train or is that me?
Yeah.
You have trains too?
That's my train. We have a train.
Yeah, no shit. Really? Yes, we hear you.
Yeah, this early in the morning, they're quite loud.
I was going to say, if you're not awake, you are now.
Only because I have my door open.
No, but not you. Your neighbors or whatever, whoever lives on the mountaintop. Whatever. Really? You really got to blow that fucking thing that long in a mountain? And what are you going to do? Stop? You can't fucking stop a train.
Well,
so.
And our train track literally runs on the edge of the town. It's not going through town. It's on the edge of it. So why do they need to blow their horns?
Well, the only thing I can say is this. Yeah, I don't know. But there's no where they're going through town, which you said they don't. But there's no place where they go across a road where there's no gates that go up and down. Is there?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, well, they had that here in Loveland. And don't ask me why. Going right across Lincoln Avenue, 287, which goes from here to there to everywhere. And there's a part of the road that they go across. They go across 287 and Cleveland, which is north and south. Two major roads, arteries going through Loveland, and they don't have any crossing gates. So when they're coming through here, you can hear them a mile away before they even come blowing their horn. Then they get here and they blow the living shit out of it. And then they're doing like 20 miles an hour. So,
Right.
yeah, it's like, really, really, guys? I mean, okay, I get it. Either that or put up a crossing gate. Sell some more pot and put up a gate. I mean, give me a break. But, yeah, they love blowing those horns, man. And I think I think it's like ships at sea. There's a certain cadence or how many times they do it or whatever. It means something. But with the train, it probably just means get the fuck out of the way, I would think.
Yeah, I think it just means get out of the way.
Yeah, just
I
move.
I don't think it means myself.
Move. Yeah, just move. I'm coming. Move. So, and wake up.
We're coming.
Yeah. Those two. Yeah, so I probably assume you didn't watch any football, right?
No, I haven't watched football in years.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. It was pretty entertaining. I have to admit. So, not a huge fan of it
Who else
either.
in the playoffs?
Who's in the playoffs? Oh, boy. Let's see.
Yeah.
Who won? The Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs won. See, and all these games weren't blowouts. They were actually upsets, but then some were upsets and some were, oh, my God, the Chiefs are going to lose, and then they came back and won. So it's been a real crazy, very entertaining.
Those are good games.
Oh, man. Kansas City was down like, I don't know, 13-0 or 20-0 or some shit like that, and they came back and scored 5 touchdowns like in 5 minutes.
Nice.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Nice.
But the Chiefs are in it. The Packers are in it. The Titans are in it. I think the Eagles won. And I think that's it. There's only 4 left because there's 2 more games, or 1 more game, right? Well, not besides the Super Bowl. So, no, there's more than that. I think. No, there's not. No, that's it. There's 4 teams left for the NFC and AFC, and then whoever gets that goes to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, Seattle got beat, which was by the Packers, which was a really good game. That could have went either way, but Seattle blew it, so they could have won. But it's good. But the people that you think would be in it, like the Patriots, they're not. You think Seattle would probably be in it. They're not. The only team that you thought would be in it, in my opinion, would be Kansas City Chiefs, and they're in it because of Mahomes, a quarterback. He's just crazy good. And maybe the Packers, but they haven't done nothing in years. But, yeah, the teams you thought were going to be there aren't. So it kind of makes it cool because I think some of those monopolies are dying off and they can't sustain it anymore. And you got some new blood coming in for new teams that might be champions. So I don't know what to say. But
that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, but like I said before I brought you on,
it's nice to see teams that aren't normally in the Super Bowl in there.
Right, or
at least up for it.
I predicted that the Titans would beat the Ravens because they beat the Patriots, and anybody that can beat the Patriots, and it was a good game. But anybody can beat the Patriots, that says something. And I said that, and everybody's like, oh, no, the Ravens are on a tear, and they won all these games and this and that and everything else. I says, yeah, okay, whatever. And sure shit, the Tennessee Titans won and beat the Ravens, and people were like, oh, my God. It's like, yeah, never say never.
I know Grandma Pat's upset.
Oh, really? Uh-oh. Yeah. Whatever.
Big Ravens fan.
Yeah. Well, the Titans got a good team, and there's a running back called, his last name's Henry, and he's a monster. He's a very talented runner. So he's someone to watch out for. So, but all in all, good game. They were really good games. I sat here with a friend for, 2 games, so they had to be over 6-7 hours. So, went to church, met him at church. Then he goes, all right, I'll call you later about the games, and then I don't want to sit in a bar for forever. I'm not doing that. And I haven't been drinking for 3 weeks anyway. And I'm like, I'll have a NA beer or something like I did on Saturday watching some games. But I go, I don't really want to sit in a bar for 2 football games. So he sat and watched them here and ordered pizza. It was fun. So,
Yeah. I remember those days used to be really fun.
Well, quite
Getting a bunch of
honest,
people together and just watching football all day.
yeah, quite honestly, I never really done it because I had my kids at such a young age and nobody could relate because they didn't have kids yet. And then when my kids were teenagers and growing up, those people had their kids, so they really didn't do it either. So it was kind of like missing the boat with timing things. So, but that's okay.
I grew up in Texas, so
Oh, I love Texas.
football was kind of a given.
So wait, so you're from Texas and you're more on the liberal side of things, then because aren't they pretty much a red state?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, right.
I
Well,
was
how did that
very out of
work?
place.
I was gonna say, how did that work for you?
I was the goofy hippie that everybody loved having in their life, and um, I was just kind of the oddball,
Hmm.
but I was an accepted oddball.
Well, that's cool. So they didn't cast you out with the scarlet letter and say, "I'll stay away from that crazy bitch. She's a Democrat, right?"
Oh well, I definitely had those.
Oh,
Too,
did you? Did you really? Oh my God! I'm sure it was pretty
yeah.
close to that
Are you
too.
kidding?
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. I know. Texas is really man. I mean, they're as ultra conservative Republican as liberal as New York or California or Chicago. I mean, they're two extremes. So.
Yeah. Which I mean, I was back in the days pre-Bush,
Oh, were you?
and when Anne was, what the heck was her last name? Anne something. She was awesome.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
Yeah. Well, that's impressive.
But,
I mean,
yeah.
being from Chicago area, it's Chicago. The city is ultra Democrat, crazy liberal crap. In the further you get out, it becomes more Republican. But we all coexisted. And politics really didn't, divide people. It is now, but it didn't.
Believe it or not, Texas is actually it's pretty tolerant when it comes to that.
Mhm.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
At least it used to be. I mean, it's been 20 years since I've lived there, but
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
But Texas was already always pretty tolerant of others' views. I mean, it was more a mentality of that's your yard, this is my yard. You keep an eye on your yard, I'll keep an eye on mine.
Oh, it's being a neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah. That should go without saying, but I know some people just it's getting to the point where if you live next to a opposing person on views of political things right now and your neighbor's house is burning down, they're gonna go, "Oh, that's too bad. Go fuck yourself." That's how bad it's getting.
Right?
Yeah. I don't give a shit. She voted for Trump. Whatever. Good. Really? Okay. Whatever. Well, let me ask you this, because I didn't even want to talk about this since we're kind of eking into this. So I might have this incorrect. Do you know about the law that was passed by Colorado government about the transgender identification on state IDs and birth certificates? Do you know about that?
No.
Yeah.
I do not.
They did. They made it easier where a transgender can put on and apply for even their birth certificate without a bunch of resistance or hoops or whatever to change what they think they are is to compared to physically what they are without argument whatsoever.
I'll have to look into it more and see what the exacts are about it, because I mean, I know some incredible transgender people, and
well, I'm not saying they're not, but I'm just because see that's where it gets. I brought the illegal immigration up a few times on my show way back in the past, and it always goes to personal. Well, I have a granddaughter, and she's a undocumented immigrant, and I love her to death, and I'll do anything for her. So then they take it into a personal. It has nothing to do with personal.
Oh yeah, no.
It has to do.
No, I'm just saying that
I mean, I love
know
my
that. I know the trouble that they went through
yeah,
with,
and well,
trying to get new IDs and things like that.
well, I could see that. Like my car's a car, and if I walk out there and call it a horse, that would cause me some problems too. So I mean, I get that. I get how it could cause you problems. So,
Yeah.
but what's next? I love my dog if I had one, and just because it acts like a female and it's a male, I'm not going to insist that on the pedigree it's changed to a female. I mean, I just it's getting a little weird. So that's all.
Yeah, I guess from watching people I know go through it, one of my best friends down in the Springs is trans, and she's actually much older. She's got to be in her 70s now.
Wow.
And yeah, and she did the whole marriage and military as a man, and waited until her wife died, and then started doing the change. And she's gone through all the surgeries, so she is
I don't know,
physically a woman now.
I want to understand it, but it's difficult. So
you have to hear the backstories. The backstories are what will help you understand.
Well, and that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah. Love you. But yeah, I know I'm one of the few people who knows like her full backstory, and it was traumatic. From about 7 years old, she always wanted to wear dresses and wanted to be female. So.
Interesting.
It's when you hear the personal stories, that's when you start kind of understanding. Not really, because I mean, just like with anything, unless you actually go through it, you'll never really have a real understanding.
Well, but I do have a theory on it if you want to hear it.
Okay.
And this will shock people because I know right off the bat. I mean, attacking me for me not understanding and say, look, if you really can't figure out who the fuck you are, you got a serious problem. Okay. But in saying that, people go, oh, you're just an asshole, like so you don't understand. It's like, well, you know what? Okay. Then explain it to me so I do understand or I get some type of comprehension on it. Because that's a normal reaction because it is. I mean, I didn't tell people or a doctor when I come out my wiener's flapping around that I'm a boy or a girl. And in the Bible, what you believe, there, God, whatever the saying is in Genesis, God created man and then woman. I mean, it's the fucking way it is, man. Don't try to change that. You're a man, you're a woman. So there you go. But that's a physical part of it. Now, if you want to get into
there's a lot more to it.
Well, and this is where I'm going to go with it. Here's my theory on this.
Yeah.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
Oh yes, I do.
Okay. So do I. And the best books for this that I've ever read is Ruth Montgomery. I don't know if you know who she is, but phenomenal. She was a White House correspondent way back in the 60s and 70s, and she got into this stuff and meditation and listening to spirits and guides and all this kind of crap. And she'd actually meditate, and she would communicate with these guides, and she would write what they were saying through her, kind of like channeling. But it was writing, not the physical turning into somebody. Yeah. Anyway, she said that there is reincarnation, and we keep coming back to learn our lessons, so we finally ascend into whatever heaven is. Okay? So get this. This is very deep. It makes a lot of sense to me. Why is it that a kid can come out and play the fucking piano without ever having a lesson?
Right.
Why is it that some kids
I
are?
think it's part of your
Why is it that some kids come out of the womb and they can talk a different language? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when
Memories of past lives.
exactly. So
The theory behind that.
and one of which is that there's gender tied to that genetic memory or whatever you want to call it, spiritual memory. That's
That's actually something I had never thought about.
well,
before,
maybe
even
you'll
as
learn
into
something.
All that kind of stuff is.
Hey,
I am.
listen, in case you don't know, this is the original Red Pill Show for entertainment and educational purposes only. Hello, did you not hear that? No, it's to make you think, and that's what this is. Believe me, people will finally get it someday. Well, that guy's a fucking asshole because you don't like transgenders and gay people and black people. Yeah, you know what? Go fuck yourself, okay? Because you are so far off the mark, you have no idea what you're talking about, okay?
Right.
So this is what I was trying, because I'm trying to figure it out. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's why people come out speaking Chinese and their babies, and obviously somebody needs to know Chinese in the birthing room when it happens, but it's like, what the fuck? This kid's talking Chinese. How's that? He's a white kid in Tennessee, you know? So, or when people are racist, and no matter what, they're racist till the day they die, what better way to learn that karmic lesson than come back as a black person?
No kidding.
See? Or if you hate gay people, you know what? You're coming back as a gay person. And yada, 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 and on and on. And if you're a rich asshole and you never help people.
That's actually a really good theory.
Well, and this is one that I ascertained or thought way too deep about. So now it's falling into, because at first it fell into the homosexual gay thing. You know, it's like, really? How can you be attracted to sticking your wiener in that guy's butt? What's wrong with you? You know, but I don't get off on it. Or the other way around, the Lick a Lot of Puss Club. You know, if they want to do that, that's fine. I don't get it. I don't mind watching it. It'd be fun for a guy, but I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. But why is it? Why is that? Well, because in a past life, you were a woman and you came back as a man, but you still have the woman attraction or tendencies of the opposite sex or vice versa. So that's still there. Yeah. So now it comes out as the transgender thing now too and goes past that because, you know, let's just say that you've gone through 5 or 6 past lives and you're born again. In all those other past lives, you were the same sex. And now this time, on the 6th time around, you're a man instead of a woman. Well, good luck with that. How are you going to be a man when you've been a fucking woman for, give or take, 480 years?
Right.
Or more. Yeah. So
yeah, no, that's actually, for me, that's a very plausible theory because I do believe in reincarnation and that we carry along those mistakes and we have to rectify in order to move to the next levels.
Right. Because my dad, I mean, he's a great guy, but he's from the South and he's quote unquote, you know, has some racial tendencies until my granddaughter was born and she's half black and he kind of changed his tune a little bit. Isn't that amazing? But yeah, I mean, I'm like, man, you know what? You don't get your shit straight. You're going to find out the hard way coming back as a black person or whatever, or whoever you're discriminating against. A gay black person, that would be perfect. A poor gay black person would be perfect for my dad to learn his lesson then. I'm serious.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I love him to death. Great guy. Stubborn as hell. Racial tendencies. Very judgmental. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, you know what? You're going to come back as a poor, black, gay male. And what better way to learn your lesson?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Karma can do some interesting things to us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen it. I've seen it. But the karmic indebtedness or justice sometimes is not served in one lifetime. You know, it could take 1 or 2 or 3. Yeah. Yeah. But what see, and that explains the gender transgender. I'm just gonna say confusion or tension or misunderstanding, whatever word you want to use, where both people, the transgenders and the heteros or whatever, can comprehend what's going on. And that does it for me.
That's actually, it really does. I mean, obviously, it goes right into my spiritual beliefs. So.
Yeah, but you never really made that connection, though, right?
No, I really didn't.
Yeah,
I really didn't, because I always looked at it from a scientific point of view.
Right, which everybody's doing, and then these poor people are confused as fuck because, God damn it, why do I look at a guy and I'm a guy and I'm attracted to him and I want nothing to do with a woman? Well, maybe that's because you've been, the sex that was different for hundreds of years and you learn your lesson and now it's time to flip. But you have all that stuff ingrained into your spirit or your soul. And when you're in the physical body now, the parts ain't the same,
Yeah.
That's very...
Actually, it makes total sense to me.
Yeah, that's very plausible and very, very like, if you can wrap your head around that, oh, no, that doesn't happen. We're born and we die and that's it. You're done. Okay, whatever. Sure. Sure. Let's explain the vibrations and everything else and the deja vu and all the other type of weird crap that we experience as humans.
Oh yeah.
Definitely...
we have a connection level that is so far beyond understanding.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And it's all vibrations and a sixth sense and even beyond.
It's all energy.
Right.
All about energy.
That's right. But if there is a God or a higher power or whatever, it's just, I love that. I can't wait till AI gets to the point where it thinks it invented itself. That's how I look at that too. It just defies all common sense and logic is to like, well, there was this big explosion and boom. I could see if it was just the human race, but you got to give me a fucking break. Really? The fish, the birds, the insects, all that crap was just because of a big bang, because it just was perfect condition for that to happen, and bam, all this different types of life was created. Come on, really? So, and we're all supposed to evolve spiritually, and if you don't, then you go back and you keep doing it till you do learn, and you're putting in positions that you were very judgmental and didn't agree with, like all the Trump haters. They're going to come back as being Trump. Or, I don't know, or whatever, or whatever. Well, and all the Obama haters, I mean, they're going to come back into the role that they were totally against, and they're going to see how it feels and how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
So, like if you're an
I definitely agree with.
The political analogy not be good, but it's like you're a full Democratic, fuck Trump thing, and you're going to come back and be born into a well-off, rich Republican family, and you're going to go, what the fuck? And then vice versa. You're in a Republican, I love Trump and Bush and all these guys, and you're going to come back into a Democrat just to learn that perspective. I mean, but it's more of the life thing and doing things. Politics suck. That's why it's not a good example. But it's always about you.
Well, politics is part of life.
Yeah, politics and religion and money wouldn't be good lessons to learn, I don't think. But how you treat people and think of others, that's what you're supposed to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And being quote unquote woke, as much as I hate that term, it's people think they're woke.
Woke?
But they have so far to go.
You mean awake?
Well, yeah. You have people that, talk about, being woke.
Yeah.
That they're woke up.
No, you have no idea.
wonderful understanding.
No.
But most
No
of them have about maybe a little smidge of it.
Yeah, well, put it this way. If you can sit and listen to anybody, including Alex Jones or Gerald Celente or whatever, and you can listen to them without reacting and call that quote-unquote normal conversation like you see on the news, then I would probably say you probably are awake. But if you're reacting to it and fighting it and trying to convince other people to see it their way and wake up and blah, 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 which I did. It was a phase. You're not awake yet. You're awake when you accept it. And just like the woman that came up to me out of the blue in a public place and told me she was a member of the Illuminati. And she goes, oh, he didn't run away. I go, that doesn't fucking surprise me. I mean, really?
Why would I?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd actually love to sit down and have a chat.
Oh, well, I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to share something about that because it's interesting you said that. Because on top of all the physical stuff and the sex and all the intimacy and that was great, I truly mean this. I have never talked to a person in my life that was so smart, so intuitive, and so just making me think. We talked all night. The first night or second night?
Oh,
it was more than one night. All night long, laying in bed. Blah, 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 blah. And she told me some things that was so much that I did write them down, and I never do that. When I talk to somebody, I don't take notes to go, oh, I got to talk about this or go back to there. I had a whole page from Apple Computer to the Vatican to famous movie stars that I will never bring up to all this stuff. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And she wouldn't shut up. So, which was fine because the more she talked, the more I learned, allegedly, or she was whatever it was, she informing me. I don't know if any of it was true. But just a fascinating, and the things that she was saying, put it this way, if I wasn't awake or awoke or whatever, I would have said, you're fucking crazy, and walked away, and I'm done. You're just a crazy bitch. But I didn't, and there was 10 days of this stuff, and I just wanted more and more and more, and I still don't know if she was legitimate or not, but she was just saying some things that made way, way too much sense. And things that I had knowledge. Crazy.
Whenever you run into somebody like that, you should always take that opportunity to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And really listen. Not hear, but listen.
Yep.
And they will challenge a lot of things that you believe, but at the same time, they're going to open your eyes up to other possibilities.
Yeah. Well,
we're human. We don't know what is the truth about everything.
Well, she's very interesting because she taught me about reverse engineering and flipping it upside down and stuff like that to figure things out, which does figure things out. But what it does, when you flip it upside down, it transfers the power from whoever has the power to the person that wants it, which was very interesting. She also, things that weren't known, she did it by lottery, which was nothing more than drawing shit out of a hat. And she did this in front of me, and I recorded it for her because she wanted it, because she's putting it on her Facebook page, which I'm not going to say what it is. And she picked Bernie Sanders. That Bernie Sanders is going to get the nomination for the Democratic Party. And I said that. I go, I know.
Yeah.
I already said it. I said, I know who's going to be. It's going to be Sanders. And she pulled that fucking name out of that hat, and I'm like, oh, my God. Weird stuff. Things that just can't be figured out or reverse engineered or predicted or whatever. She said, well, you do that by lottery. Some fascinating business structure, corporations. We talked about money, currency, where that's going. I don't want to say anything about that until I see a hint of it. But just remember EBIT. Just remember EBIT. Just so people... Well, yeah, sure you can say because it's out in the news. Just remember EBIT. That's all I'm going to say. Let's see if any of this has any type of validity to it, and that won't get anybody in trouble. So we'll see. It's just a cryptocurrency, and we'll see what happens. That's all I can say. But fascinating. Very fascinating.
Yeah, it really is. And what she is, quote unquote, doing, I believe, is the same thing that people who would call themselves witches do.
Yeah.
It's using that energy to, quote unquote, pull the right answer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, she's letting the universe decide, you know. I mean, all the answers and knowledge is in the ether. You just have to access yourself to it. And you could probably do that through a type of lottery thing. I mean, explain it. Explain what makes you pick that thing out of that hat. You can't.
Well, it's energy. It's
exactly.
The attraction and repelling of energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But she did say some things. She said, I met this really famous person, movie star. She goes, I met this, and I'm not going to say their name. And I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. Well, then 2-3 days later, I find out that famous person was in Loveland, Colorado. I'm like, whoa. Whoa. So I really, truly don't know. The problem is she's got a great heart, but she's been hurt so bad. And then she's even allegedly a Scientologist, which I believe in some of their things because they make sense. But in all honesty, I think they're all crazy. I don't believe in
any of those that cut you off from other people if they don't believe the same way you do.
Right.
I have issues with. I have major issues with those.
Then they try to discredit you. They attack you. So that's not right either. I mean, yeah, because I read Dianetics, and I started when I was a kid getting into it 1920, and I just like, nah, this ain't for me. But the poor girl has been so damaged that she doesn't believe in marriage or commitment or any of that type of thing. She just believes in open sex and this and that and everything else. So I'm like, yeah. However you deal with things, that's your thing. But regardless of that, very, very, very smart woman. Oh my God. So fascinating. I'll never forget her. Never really. So
she was meant to come through your life.
Yeah, I know,
and
but
open your eyes to some different things.
Oh, and then she said she was Satoshi. She said that, sure, that, which is just totally ridiculous. The person that invented Bitcoin. I'm like, wait a minute. Out of this entire fucking planet, I run into you at a Harley Davidson dealership, and you're Satoshi. She goes, yeah. I mean, see, if I wasn't truly awake, I'd be like, you know what? Fuck you. You go get back on your meds and fucking get out of here, you know? And even that one, I mean, that was probably, out of everything she told me, the one that was like, this bitch is nuts. But again, who's to say?
Yeah, that one I would have to question that one.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't know, but nonetheless, I mean, it took me out of being awake to like testing me being awake by having this person. However, because she goes to me, she goes, you think it was just happenstance we ran into each other? I go, I don't know. I doubt it. It seems kind of weird. She goes, well, maybe your friend set us up for some reason. And the friend I was with, there's no way. I go, no, you're way off the mark on that one. Because she was kind of thinking he knew who she was, and he was trying to get to her through me. Because she goes, well, you're going to have to go through the FBI and get vetted and blah, blah, blah and all this stuff. She says, I don't give a flying fuck. You know, I'll tell you anything you want to know. You know, it was just really weird, but she's very, very protective in who she lets around her for security reasons. It's just weird. But my whole point of all this is that, you know, what you said, be awoke or being awake. And believe me, I've been tested, and it's been since 2008. And if some person could come up to you and say all the shit she did to me, and I'm just sharing a sliver of it, then you're awake. You're awake. You should be able to see anything, hear anything, whatever, and go, huh, okay, you know, whatever. That's your true test. And it happened to me. And now she's gone. I mean, I know where she lives. I've never driven by her house. I'm not going to. I have no desire. I ran into her accidentally at the gas station that we both go to, and she lives right by there, but I've been going there forever, come and go. And you know, I really don't want to associate with her because, well, you just don't email somebody after 10 days and break up a relationship. You just don't fucking do it. You know, it's like, it's really not somebody I want to be with. But be that as it may, it was just a fascinating experience, and one I still can't figure out because the more I think about it, the crazier it is. So,
well, it can be, but you also just have to look at it as, you know, the universe was bringing that person into your life for you to learn some things.
Oh, and it did.
Everybody comes into our lives for either a lesson for you, or you're a lesson for them.
Yeah, right. Or you're supposed to be together and be together for a while because that's what the universe wants. So whatever that may be, friend, marriage, whatever. You know, yeah.
There's some purpose.
Exactly.
There's some purpose for everybody that crosses into your path.
You know what's a fascinating book for that is I just got done reading it again, was Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. That is a fascinating book.
Napoleon Hill is just
My
amazing.
God. I'm like, this book is so insightful. I mean, what better to find out why things happen and evil things and why people are the way they are than interviewing the devil himself? I mean, it's just, it's like, yeah, you're getting right to the source, and it's amazing. The questions that are asked and the answers that are provided. It's just like, whoa. So fascinating book. I every time I just dived into it again, happenstance, and I ended up reading the thing again. I'm like, wow, that book is just freaking highly recommend it. So, but it's along the lines of universal this stuff. So,
yeah.
Interesting. I don't want to get into it. It's just you just people got to read it, because if that doesn't get you, then nothing will. So, but all right. Well, it's 7:05 already again, and we didn't talk about anything we say we will. That's why I don't like doing that.
Of course not.
But we'll get to it someday. But I did have a couple hits of sage, so I'm feeling pretty good, man. And it smells good, and there's no witches. So, but yeah, that's I don't know. I didn't plan on talking about any of that, but that's the way it is, and that's the way it goes. And yeah, hopefully, we'll bounce things off of each other, and then people that are listening, hopefully they'll take it in without some type of bias or judgment and go, you know what? I'm really gonna think differently about people that are fighting or struggling. I get whatever words. We got to be careful with what you say, but struggling with their gender. And I really truly believe if it isn't true and it's all horseshit, then so be it. But let's just say that it's not. It may not be. And these people are really confused in who they're supposed to be because they've been attracted to the opposite sex for so long in reincarnation, but then they come back the other sex, and they're trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And it makes perfect sense to me.
Well, yeah, it does. It makes perfect sense.
Right. For the person going through, for the person going through it, and the people that are seeing it and can't accept it. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah. What do you mean you don't know if you're a man or a woman? Here, let me show you. Look, see? Duh. And even the Bible, there was man, and then God created man, and then created woman from man. What's the fucking problem? Well, there you go. If Adam and Eve were the first humans, there was no reincarnation. They were the beginning. They were Genesis. So there's no fucking mental problems, from reincarnation. Now there is. And reincarnation, by the way, was taken out of the Bible from how I understand it. And I don't know if it was in, I forget the book that was taken out that had it in it, and they took it out because the church.
There were a lot of books taken out. And that's part of the reason why I have problems with organized religion and the Bible. And
right.
things like that is because too many man's hands have made the decisions on what it says.
Yeah, the Book of Enoch is what I'm trying to think of. That was totally stricken from the Bible.
Oh yeah.
In all the churches,
Well, and there was.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say there was also Lilith, Adam's first wife.
Yeah, see, I don't even know about that. But the whole point of it was the whole organized religion didn't want their members and congregation thinking they had a second chance. You get one chance, and you do what we tell you to do, or you're going to hell, or you're going to heaven, or purgatory, or whatever. And that's not the way it is. They should be ashamed of themselves.
I agree.
Yeah. So what better way to...
if you look, Constantine used it as a form of control. He saw the power it had.
Right. And that's all it is, on top of money and some other crap. But for people to understand themselves and the people to try to understand the people that are trying to understand themselves, that's common ground. It's reincarnation. It's the effects of reincarnation. And if you can't get that into your head and absorb that and honestly look at it and go, you know what, that makes a lot of fucking sense, like you did, then you're just maybe beyond help, or you're probably going to come back as a transgender in your next life, and you're going to see how that feels.
Yeah.
It calms everything down and puts compassion and empathy and understanding into it. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's making me think about, the trans folks that I know, and I've always been very active in the LGBT community.
Well,
yeah. It makes me think about that, and everything that they go through and their own questioning of themselves and things like that.
Well, I'll give you one.
That's actually an incredible way to explain it.
Well, and here's one even deeper, and I'll let you go. People ask, why does God do God things, or why do bad things happen to people at such a young age, whether they have deformities or mental challenges or, God forbid, cancer or whatever. And here's why. Okay? Here's why. Because in a past life, and this is from stuff I've read, and not so much research, but just read, makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
The reason why that you're having those challenges as a human being is because you chose that. Because in a past life, you were the meanest person as far as mass murdering, or just an evil person. And the only way that you could really learn your karmic value and lesson is to come back as a person, as a human being that would experience all this pain and suffering. Because you don't recall that when you're in human form, but you recall it in a transition form, passing from death as a human to the spirit world, and then you choose your karmic lesson by the physical plane, and you come back as a very, very sick person, which makes perfect sense too.
Yeah, it does.
Because
that's something I've always believed. So
right. Well, some people think it's, well, you got cancer because you're a fucking asshole, you're a bitch, or you're just a mean person. No, that's not what it is. It was pretty much a situation that you accepted to learn the value of life and the meaning of life and blah 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 and all that. So which makes again perfect sense, like the transgender thing. So for people that think God does bad things, God doesn't. You're choosing your karmic lesson. And what better way to learn the appreciation of life if you were a mass murderer and didn't care about people and killed them and everything else, and then you were executed and capital punishment, or you rotted in prison, you came back, and you're going to learn the value of life and the meaning of life, because you're going to be given life, but it's going to be taken away from you with all the pain and suffering that you could possibly imagine. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm actually, that's one of my very firm beliefs, actually.
There you go.
About reincarnation.
So why would it be any different? Go ahead.
Oh, just that, your karmic life has been decided prior to your birth.
Yes.
And
yeah,
you have to fix those lessons to eventually move on.
Yep. It's all pre-programmed, or your destiny, or whatever you want to call it. It's all in motion. Has nothing to do with you. It's going to happen regardless of what you do. You're just going to have to hopefully learn that lesson. And it makes perfect sense into the transgender thing. So.
Yeah. And if you don't learn the lesson, then you come back again and go through it again.
or you come back as the person you were attacking, like I'm saying. What better way to learn? So.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. It's 7:15. I got to get out of here and pay for people that sit on their ass and pay my bills. So, okay?
You have a great day.
All right, you too, and I'll talk to you in the morning. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, bye. All right, so that was Melissa, and it's time for me to go. I have to make the donuts and pay my bills and give the government their money so they can send a couple $2 billion back over to Iran on a fucking airplane. So there you go. Thanks for listening to me. I hope some of that made sense, and just make you think about it, because everything happens for a reason. You have been listening to the original Red Pill Show.